everybody. Welcome to the A to Jump podcast. My name is Justin of Justin Games. I'm joined, as always, by the Gooba half of Gooba and Jetpack, aka Jake. Jake, welcome to episode 31. We've amassed quite a few of these. It's taken us a few years, but we're gaining it. I like it.
I think we're on like a maybe 10 a year pace at this point. This year going a little bit slower.
It is. Hey,
but,
we're busy dudes, okay? Busy.
Yeah, got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, you're corporate. You travel all over the world every single week, so it happens.
Something like that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Not too much to go over this week, Jake, but we did want to touch on a few just little things because we usually save up a million things and we don't get to talk about enough. So having a little bit smaller of a few less things to talk about that we can talk about at a little bit more depth. I like this. Jake's been playing more Tony Hawk and Sword of the Sea, which is cool. I'm very interested to hear about that. I've been diving into Final Fantasy XIV again. There's been some PlayStation 6 rumors. I rant about Monster Hunter some more. Jake has a few rants about the new skate game, and there's some new Stardew Valley news.
Yes, sir.
However small.
Yeah.
But it's here. Before we get started, though, Jake, we did get a couple comments on last week's video from your partner.
Yep.
That we might need some clarification on straight from the source, or at least a first-hand source.
Yeah.
Let's see. She says, I jumped forward in the video and saw Jake grow several inches taller. Amazing. I'm going to need you to ask her to clarify, because I skipped forward several times throughout last video, and I don't see you move at all.
Yeah. I will try and confirm what that means.
Okay.
My thought is, I know at the beginning of the last episode, you had mentioned that your chair tends to lower over time. So I thought maybe that was a joke about that. Like, in comparison, I look taller later in the video. But
maybe.
I don't think it did fall very much last time.
It didn't shrink at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I should look at myself closer. Maybe it did shrink and I didn't even notice it.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'm gonna guess that's it, but only she knows what's going on there. So
Jetpack, please write in. Please clarify.
Yeah.
Also, another one from your partner. I buy every new game I think is cool, which is how I ended up with Fantasy Life I, and have massive buyer's remorse. This is interesting because I've heard nothing but great things about Fantasy Life I. I think it looks really cool. Has she shared with you her thoughts?
She has. I don't know the full spectrum of the issues that she's had with it. I do know that when it came out, she was very excited for it. A lot of people were saying how good it was, so she gave it a try. She gave it I thought she had only put a few hours in, maybe, and then was just not jiving with it. But she was like, no, I put over 8 hours in, and it was still just not enjoying it the way that I think she was hoping. And I don't know the full details on that. I believe she mentioned that a lot of the mini games just were not were repetitive. They were not hitting the way that she was hoping. And it was not the type of game that she was hoping it would be, maybe. I wouldn't want to say without her clarifying what exactly was the issue, but I know it's something along those lines.
That sucks because that's a full $70 game.
Yeah.
That's kind of been my main deterrent.
Yeah.
if it were like $30, I might have checked it out already myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks that good, but yeah, that sucks.
There,
Especially
there,
when you buy every new game that you think is cool.
yeah. There was a time when she was like, I want you to try. Like, she came to me and she's like, I want you to try it for a little bit and just like see if I'm like, if you think I'm off base with this.
Sure.
But then she eventually came back because I was going to do it. I was like, yeah, sure. You know, when I get home, I'll give it a shot. And then she was like, you don't need to. It's not like,
It's
she's like,
trash.
you're not going to like it any more than I do. It's not worth it. And I was like, okay.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah.
Especially that really sucks when you waste $70 on a game you didn't enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
as we've talked about several times.
Yeah. And I'm sure we will continue to talk about as the industry moves forward.
Exactly. Well, that does it for comments, Jake. However strange and confusing sometimes that first one was for me. We'll get some clarification. Don't worry.
Yeah. And if you yourself want us to discuss your comment, go ahead and leave one on this video, and we'll talk about it next time.
Please do.
Mm-hmm. We like
it
getting
makes me
comments.
happy. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Very happy. Okay, Jake, you've been playing some more Tony Hawk?
I have. So since the last episode, I think when we recorded last time, I was kind of like, I had beaten the main game, was kind of working through like the pro challenges, and I was taking a little bit of a break because I didn't want to overdo it. I have since gone back and completed all of the pro challenges.
Nice.
So I was enjoying that. And I was kind of just like, I still don't think it's a game I'm going to platinum. Really that like having to do the solo tour for every single skater is still really making me hold off on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going back and kind of just getting, some trophies I knew I could get, completing some other challenges that the game has, because on each level it'll have like individual challenges, like combine a combo from this trick, like this gap or this rail, to this other one, like, so it's kind of like see if you can chain together tricks in like a certain order to unlock a new board or something. Like all of the like rewards are pretty slim. I get like they're not like that
Sure.
cool, but just I just like the feeling of being able to like chain together these tricks and do like these cool challenges. So I've been going through on each level and doing those, and then there's also like rewards for hitting every gap in each level, so like jumping from one ramp to another or one rail to another and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also challenges for speedrunning each level. So
Okay.
getting, I don't know how familiar you are with the Tony Hawk games, but like in the
0.
little, the basic objective for each level is you have 2 minutes to go and do certain things. So like you have to collect the skate letters.
I remember
You have
that
to get a
part,
certain
that much.
score, certain combo, and then there'll be like miscellaneous things throughout each level. Like you have to, on like the foundry level, which is like a factory or something, like you have to grind 5 different like valve things. Like there'll be things specific to each level that you have to do, or you have to complete a certain trick at a certain location. And there's a speed run for each one of those. And if you complete that, then you get, like if you complete all of the objectives within a certain time frame, then that's a challenge. So I've been going through and kind of just dabbling in that a little bit. and it's been pretty fun. Like it's kind of a mindless thing. It's kind of one of those where like I can, you know, have a YouTube video or podcast or something on in the background, and I'll just like be sort of half paying attention to both. But it's fun. It's, you know, a way to keep playing the game, because I do enjoy the core aspects of the game enough that like I want to keep playing it. But these are ways that like I can still have a goal of something, because I could just go in there and do like free skate for a while, but I know I would get bored eventually.
Yeah.
But with this, it's fun because like there is an objective that I'm working towards. It makes it feel a little bit more worth it.
Yeah, you got to have that checklist.
Yeah.
You want to be checking stuff off of.
Yeah. I as much as I do enjoy like freedom in certain games to go where I want and just explore based on like, you know, my imagination. I'm a big checklist guy. I do like,
oh yeah,
if I have like a list of things that I can mark off and then seeing it completed, I'm like, yes. Like
I want the freedom to do that checklist in any way I want. That's the freedom we enjoy.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's a good checklist game.
Yeah, it's definitely pun fully intended. It's a grind. It's a grindy game.
Listen,
But no, it's been fun though.
that's really good. I'm glad it's a success, at least in your book.
Yeah. I mean, it was going to be hard for it not to be a success just because of
Sure.
my history with the Tony Hawk series, but with this one and 1 and 2 that they put out a few years ago, they've done a really good job on keeping it fun and lighthearted like the old games, but bringing it, you know, making it a bit more modern, making it feel a little better to play. Obviously look better, even though it's not like, you know, there's nothing groundbreaking happening in it like graphically, but that's also not what you play those games for anyway.
Yeah. You do it because you want to access your inner 14-year-old
Yeah.
and grind some rails.
Yeah.
What do you think is next for the Tony Hawk
I don't know, man.
video game franchise?
They're not gonna remake 5 because that one was such a disaster that nobody's gonna be nostalgic for it. Like there's no point in that. Some people think they're gonna move on to the Tony Hawk's Underground series because those were the next after Tony Hawk 4.
Okay.
I don't really think so. I think that those games in themselves, like, you know, they had a narrative to them and there was kind of like a story mode.
Okay.
But it's all very based in like early 2000s. Like those games are kind of a time capsule for that era. And if they put out that same game now, but with just updated graphics, I think anyone younger than like 28 is going to go into that game and be like, what the hell are they talking about? Like,
yeah, that's
like this doesn't make any sense.
Millennial core.
Yeah, it's very millennial core. But there's rumors, or there's people, I think there's more just people hoping that because there's new studios going in now and remaking these games and working with these mechanics, that they're going to make a new game, like a completely new Tony Hawk.
Sure.
So I don't know if it'd be like Tony Hawk 6 or whatever, but I mean, that would be cool. I feel like they would really have to find a way to make that interesting and not just put out like 9 new levels and call it a day. Like,
I was gonna ask, like, what's gonna make it new?
Yeah,
you know, other than levels.
Yeah, because at that point they could just put out an update for 3 and 4
Yeah.
or something. Like there's already new levels in there that they made specifically for that. So it's not like they're sticking to like those games exactly as they were 100%. But in order to make it feel like a new part of the series, I think they would have to make some like changes or add something to it. Maybe go kind of a skate route, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but make it more of like an open world setting, and have different like sections that act as like levels or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that someone is paying attention to this series and bringing it to modern consoles. I know there's a lot of people like me that grew up playing those games. Even if they weren't into skateboarding, I feel like everybody had their time with these games either way.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I would love to see it stick around. I just don't know in what form they could reasonably do that.
Yeah, I mean, if Madden and Call of Duty can do it year after year after year after year, maybe Skate can too, or Tony Hawk can too.
I mean, it's an Activision title, and we know how they feel about keeping that yearly income going. So
yep. Okay. Well, I'll give your voice a break.
Appreciate it.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah,
I'm back into it. Admittedly, there's a streamer that I really like. Her name is Snapcube on YouTube, and she really likes Final Fantasy 14, and she's been playing a lot of it. And the more I watch it, I'm like, man, I will love this game if I can get into it. 'Cause I know I've talked about FF14 on the pod before, maybe last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. It's a big game. It's been out for a very long time, so there's a lot of content. So right now, if you're at all interested in Final Fantasy 14, there is a free trial.
Okay.
If you've never signed up for it before. I signed up for it back in like 2013 when the game first came out.
Yeah.
So I don't get the free trial anymore.
Yeah.
That's since 12 years expired. But you get the base game, which is called The Realm Reborn, and then the first 2 expansions, which I haven't nailed the names of. It's like Shadowbringers and something else. That could be wrong. All completely free, but you only have to pay the subscription fee, which is $13 a month, I think, is the lowest tier. So for $13 a month, you get probably hundreds of hours of content.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it. You can buy the latest expansion, which is called Dawn Trail. You can buy that for, I think it was $40.
Okay.
And that unlocks everything, all the expansions, all 5 expansions. So, but you still have to pay that subscription fee. So it's kind of, how you want to do it. I think Final Fantasy 14 is very confusing and very intimidating for a lot of people, because it was for me, unless, after I did a bunch of Googling and figured out kind of how this structure works. So basically, sign up for the free trial. If you already did that, you can have the first few expansions for only $15 or $13 a month, and that's a lot of content.
Okay.
So that's how you can sign up for that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was gonna start a new character, just to kind of reset everything, but I'd already put like 40 hours into my first character from last year, so I didn't want to do that. I want to just jump back into my other character and like start a new class at the very least, because there's like 18 classes that you can choose from. And what's different about Final Fantasy 14 is you can switch to those classes at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be a black mage, a white mage, a marauder, a ninja. I mean, you can be all these things at once. You just have to level them all up
Mm-hmm.
and keep them, if you want to switch between them regularly, keep them around the same level and stuff.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to start a new class, which would kind of feel like restarting the game for me, but I don't lose the main story progress.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I went with Rogue. Originally, I think it was a Marauder. I forget. I'm not an expert on these, okay? So I think I started as a Marauder and then went to something else. I can't remember. But okay. So I started over as a Rogue, and it was like kind of how you said with Tony Hawk. You can kind of just put something on in the background and just kind of go through things, because it's not, I wouldn't say it's the most in depth. It's an MMO. There's hardly any voice acting. It's all text. It's kind of go here, do this, kill these enemies, get this reward, rinse and repeat. Which sounds, as I'm saying it, kind of boring, but it's actually pretty satisfying. I enjoy it quite a bit. Figuring out the new loop for your moves on the rogue class is really fun. The combat is it changes up, like the goals, like, oh, you have to kill these. It's not just go kill 15 of these monsters and here's reward. It's you have to kill 3 of these monsters and maybe they'll drop an item that will let you, or will draw out another bigger monster, and you kill that and then do that a few times. They change up the goals a lot. It's not just kill X amount of monsters, which I found fun. And it's just satisfying to kind of run through them. I admittedly don't read everything because reading makes me fall asleep. So there's a whole lot of text, and so sometimes I just kind of mash X through those. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. It's fun. I hope I can stick to it, but it's gonna be a long time before I get to the new stuff, just because of how old this game is.
Yeah.
And everyone says, so currently I'm only in the base game, A Realm Reborn, and everybody says once you get through the base game, the expansions seriously take off. The story is top tier.
Okay.
So I'm trying to power through, but I don't know. I just wanted to kind of start over with my with the new class and just it feels a little new to me, where I don't feel like I need to start the game completely over. Because I don't like jumping into a game again after a few months or a year and being like halfway through the story. It sucks. I don't know. I don't like. I forget everything that happened. So, but in this way, it feels fresh for me. So that's good. I'm gonna keep at it. We'll see how far I make it this time, and it's only $13 a month.
Not
a
bad.
bank breaker. And if Dawn Trail ever goes on sale for $20-$30, maybe I'll snag that and I'll have the entirety of the FF14 content for $15 or $20-$30 or whatever. So yeah, it's enjoyable. It's definitely not for everybody. I would not recommend this to you.
I wouldn't think so.
No, I don't think you'd like it. It does pop up. You must have played it a long time ago. Your little
Maybe.
thing is, you friends who play this, and your little icon is there.
Really?
Yeah, maybe you don't.
Maybe I just downloaded it if it was free at some point or something. Like,
it might.
I don't even remember that.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Well, I hope I can stick with it.
Okay. Well, good. It seems like you have a lot of content to explore, especially with how long it's been out. How many different expansions do you think there's been for that?
Hang on, I'll give you a good. I'll tell you. I think
Okay.
it's 5.
Okay, that's not.
It might
Yeah,
be. It might be 6.
I thought it'd be like
Okay.
10 by now.
Oh
It's
no.
been what 12 years since it came out.
Probably. It's interesting. It's really cool because when Final Fantasy 14 Online came out, it was just Final Fantasy 14 Online,
Hmm.
and it sucked apparently. And I remember downloading it and not giving it a good chance.
Hmm.
So I couldn't speak. I can't speak on if it was any good or not.
Hmm.
But a lot of people said it sucked, and it sucked so much that Square Enix realized how badly it sucked and basically wrote into the story a way that a dragon would literally destroy the world. and and then they released A Realm Reborn right after it.
Hmm.
So you can't play that very original game, Final Fantasy 14 Online. I've seen it on YouTube where,
Hmm.
yeah, there's the bad guys summon a dragon because they want to destroy the world, and boy, do they. And so it's really cool. I think it's really cool how they just kind of wrote that in. So when A Realm Reborn starts, it takes place 5 years after the destruction of the world, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of fun. But there's 5 expansions.
Okay.
So in the free trial slash whatever, you get A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood all for free.
Okay.
That's just for the subscription fee.
Hmm.
If you want Shadowbringers, Endwalker, or Dawn Trail, you have to buy those individually, or just buy Dawn Trail, and I'm pretty sure that unlocks everything.
Okay.
You get all the ones before it too.
Hmm.
So they're at like every 3-year pace a new expansion.
Okay.
So I've got like 2 or 3 more years to catch up.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. I think I could
Yeah.
do it in 3 years.
So-
Hopefully, I keep my interest.
Is it all online still? Or
Yeah. Yep.
okay.
You mean it's not a single player?
No, yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like it's still, or can you play it single player? Or is it?
I've played everything single player so far.
Mhm.
It is online. You do have to have internet to play it. It's not completely offline single player like that. But yeah, you don't have to really deal with anybody.
Okay.
If you go to like the cities, you see people walking around, other players. But yeah, I don't interact with anybody. I just do my thing, and it's been fine. I think there's some quests that you have to do with other people. And I remember doing one of those last year and being really nervous because I didn't know what I was doing. But it's not too bad. Everyone's usually pretty nice. People talk about the community a lot and how welcoming it is and helpful. So don't be too intimidated. Just hop in there.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to get into Sword of the Sea?
Yeah, let's hear some Sword of the Sea. Sword of the Sea.
All right. So, Sword of the Sea is the new game from Giant Squid, which is the creators of Abzu, The Pathless. I believe it's not the same company, but I believe one of the main guys also was worked on Journey.
Oh, okay.
So, known for the very, like, you know, very short games that are all focused on the vibe, the music. A lot of them are like, adventures through these magical worlds that kind of have their own like signature style to them. I don't really know how to explain it, but
yeah, very, very unique art styles for each game.
yeah. So Sword of the Sea itself really piqued my interest because, well, first of all, I will say that I went back recently and played Journey for basically the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And super short game. I beat it in like an hour and a half or something. But for those of you who don't know, it's essentially just you're playing as this character, making your way through a desert, and you have to get to the top of this mountain. And there's no dialogue. There's not really even any like text that you can read that I remember. Like it's all just the entire story is just up to your interpretation, which I thought was really cool. You know, it's
Yeah.
like they're not making any grand statements really about anything. They're kind of just like you interpret this for yourself. If this means something to you, then run with that.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, it's just, you know, if I had to put a like genre on it, it's like a puzzle platformer
Okay.
with like a big open world. Now, Sword of the Sea, the newest game by this company, is kind of similar to Journey in that it's just a big open world that you're making your way around, but you have a sword that you essentially surf on. And whenever you get into a new area, basically the entire thing is like a desert. It's just sand. And the objective in each area is to like bring the water back to this area. So like rebuild the sea that used to be there. And throughout the course of the game, you sort of learn a little bit more. Like there's actually these like glyph things that you can go to, and it'll tell you like, it's all very cryptic, but it'll tell you like a poem basically about a certain aspect of this world. And you can kind of, it's not as like open-ended as the previous games. Like there's actually some sort of narrative to it. But it's still like there's no dialogue. It's all very like focused on the world and the aesthetic. And probably the most fun part about the game is the riding around on the sword. You can like jump and do tricks and stuff like that. There's certain areas that are basically like a trick attack area where like you have a minute to do as many tricks as you want. You can do combos and stuff. It's a very
That's cool.
like unique idea for a game.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's a very short game. I beat it once already. It's only about 3 hours long the first time. But it's a ton of fun, and you unlock different abilities as you keep going. So like there's like the tricks are like one of the earliest things that you can do, but there's like a double jump ability. There's like a charge, like a boost thing that you can do, so you can like go off of ramps a lot faster. Eventually you unlock a companion, and when you're riding on the same sword together, you can do, it's called like a water rail, and it's basically like if you triple jump in the air, it'll create this like beam of water that you ride along for a certain distance. And it's really cool. It's like there's not really puzzle aspects to it. I would call it more of just a standard platformer.
Okay.
But part of the puzzle, I guess, is getting to the certain areas you need to get to. And since I've beaten it the first time, I've gone back on New Game Plus, and I've just been getting all the collectibles and kind of fully exploring the world. And there's a ton of stuff that they have hidden that you wouldn't like. I'm pretty good about exploring areas fully before I move on, or at least I try to be. There's so many like collectibles and like the glyphs that you can read and all that stuff that I would never have even thought of. They'd be like
That's cool.
up on top of a building, like behind something, and like it takes like it's a process to get to a lot of these, but it's also fun. Like just the core gameplay of like riding on the sword and like jumping around all these different platforms is a lot of fun.
That's cool. So a lot of traversal and exploration, stuff like that.
Yeah, I would
That's
say
cool.
traversal is definitely like the main focus of the gameplay. And it's that in itself is very fun, like especially for someone like me who loves skateboarding and snowboarding games and stuff like that. It very much scratches that itch, but in an interesting way that's not just like, it's not like a skateboarding or snowboarding game where you're just doing those sports and like completing objectives for that. It's like it put it in a completely new setting, and there's like a very interesting, like this world that you're in is very intriguing just to be in, and then learning more about it is very cool too. Like if you're looking for something like that's just very vibes based, like again, as this studio has done in the past, they had Austin Wintory do the soundtrack, which is just
The GOAT.
ridiculous. Like the like that guy just does not miss, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I've like the soundtrack is amazing. All of the areas are like so pretty to look at, and they're all like really like there's a lot of attention to detail. So like I feel like in some games like this, they'll have you in this big open area, and there'll be like a vista in the background of like there's other buildings and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of the time that's just like background. You can't really go to everything. Pretty much everything that you can see in this game, you can go to and you can jump on, and like there's things hidden basically all over the map. So I really enjoyed that about it. Like I would say it's mostly linear, but there's like areas that are open in each chapter. So
Yeah.
like you usually, once you start a chapter, you kind of know like where the main objective is, but then you have to unlock certain things throughout this big open area in order to open the way to the next area. So it's not like stay on this one path and do this thing. Like you can kind of do whatever you want within the confines of that chapter.
That's really cool. It's besides Journey, had you played any of the other Giant Squid games?
I dabbled in Abzu a little bit.
Okay.
Not really like I don't even know if I maybe played it like an hour or two, but that's another one that I would like to get more into. I know that people really like that one, and it's again like a very cool vibe. Like with that one, for people who don't know, it's like exploring the ocean. But yeah, that one I definitely would like to go back to, but it's they all fit that kind of vibe.
Yeah. Besides Journey, I haven't played any of them either. The one that seems most interesting to me is the Pathless, because that's more like a forest.
Yeah, I really don't know too much about that one. I know that people really enjoy that one, and I'm sure if it's anything like these other games, I'm sure I would enjoy it too. I just don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I don't either. I think there's a bird that follows you, which is always cool. And of all the biomes in real life and in video games, forests are the most appealing to me. I'm a big fan of trees, so that would be the cool one for me. Abzu does look cool. again, I know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I, I'd like to know like how similar it is to Subnautica. You know,
Yeah,
'Cause
I think.
it's obviously not a survival game, but
Mhm.
like I don't know. I'd just be curious to know the similarities between the two.
Yeah, like there's not. Um, I can only speak for Journey and like Sword of the Sea. Um, I don't think it would be the same
Mm.
vibe in terms of like the survival thing. I do know from my short time with Abzu that um, there's not necessarily combat, but there are like enemies or like certain creatures that you have to avoid, which,
You're right.
without getting into spoilers, is an aspect of Journey and Sword of the Sea as well. Although usually it's just like one specific part of the game, and the rest is mostly exploration. From the Pathless, at least just for what you can see from the images, it looks like you have like a bow. So like
Okay.
maybe there's some form of combat added to it. Um, yeah, it's
Interesting.
listed as an action adventure game. Um,
Okay, so maybe that's their more action oriented
yeah,
title. Might have to check that one out. That one's always kind of appealed to me.
yeah,
And for Austin Wintry alone, it makes you want to play these games. That might be the only composer that I'm like, yeah, I need to play that game just because of that.
yeah. There's certain like I know certain game composers mostly just because they took part in one of my favorite games. So
Yeah.
whether that be Gustavo Santaolalla from The Last of Us, who continues to do the soundtrack for the show as well,
Hmm.
or Bear McCreary from God of War. Like I know them for those things. I
Yeah.
feel like Austin Wintory, like he's made the reputation for himself because of all of these great things that he's been a part of.
Yeah. Even Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and that's before I knew who Austin Wintry was.
Mm-hmm.
But uh, that that Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the music always stood out to me as
Mm-hmm.
being top tier, and now I know why.
Yeah. No, he definitely like. I'm not going to go through his whole list right now
Yeah,
because
he's got a
it's
lot.
a million, but like there's a ton of different, like mostly games on here, but also like movies and television
Yeah,
shows that he's been a part of. I think he'll always be known for the games though.
yeah, I think that's probably what he enjoys the most too. I know he's a
Hmm.
big nerd,
Yeah. Well, aren't we all?
aren't we all?
But yeah, Sword of the Sea, very fun and good. If you're looking for a quick, that one's probably about 3 hours long, but
Nice.
definitely,
I
I would say worth it.
wonder how long like the rest of the games are. Is the Pathless that short?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I know.
says how long to beat is 6 hours.
For the Pathless,
Yes.
okay, so a little bit longer.
Yeah, and you probably shouldn't trust how long to beat that much. Let's see, Sword of. Let's see, interesting to see. Yeah,
Mhm.
let's see. Completionist says 9 hours and 42 minutes.
Yeah, so I can say now after going through like playing it once all the way through and now going back through again to get all the collectibles and stuff. Um, all like if you're looking for the platinum, I think it could definitely take somewhere in the 8 to 10 hour range, just because
Okay.
like I like to play through a game 100% of the way through. Just like the first time I play it, I don't want to look at a guide or anything. I want to just like go through and experience it organically.
Yeah. Yep.
And then once I've beaten the game and experienced the story, then I'll go through with a guide and be like, okay, where are the collectibles I missed and all that stuff. Cause like I'm not gonna spoil anything by that point for having the guide open.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, but that does take a little, sometimes can take a little bit longer to go through playing that way.
Yeah, which if you're enjoying your experience is
Yeah.
totally fine.
But then the other thing about doing the platinum for it is one of the objectives is to beat your previous speed run of the game, or like speed run it in less than 2 hours or something, which
fun.
I think I could definitely do, especially now that I've played through it basically twice. But that's a third playthrough that I have to do in order to beat the story. So yeah, I think by the time it's all said and done, like I do intend to platinum it. By the time it's all said and done, I'm guessing I'll have probably about 10 hours total on the game, but not in any way will I be sick of it. I think I'll still enjoy going back to it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, a very good bite-sized experience. And how much is it?
Well, regular price is $30.
Okay.
I played it through PlayStation Plus. I got the
you have the
I got the premium subscription earlier this year because of the streamable games on the portal,
look at money
which I've gotten a
bags over
fair
here.
amount of use out of actually. But
as much traveling as you do, yeah.
Yeah, and for some reason that the streaming games tend to work a lot better on like outside of your home Wi-Fi than like the remote play from your console.
Okay.
Something about like that aspect of it, like we're gonna shift into talking about the portal for a second. That aspect of it really I only use in my house. My PlayStation is here at my desk, but if I want to be like downstairs on the couch or something, that's when I'm going to use my portal for remote play because I'm on the same Wi-Fi. Like it works just fine. When I'm out of the house, like if I have really good internet, like at a hotel or something, then sometimes I can pull off remote play, but most of the time I'm just going to go and look for something in that catalog that I can stream because that seems to work a lot more reliably than doing remote play.
Is that instant? You just find the game you want to play and hit start?
Yeah, I mean it has to be in that catalog, but there's
of course.
pretty good games in there. They're always updating. Sword of the Sea, I think, was on there day one. But like I've played Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. I started another skateboarding game session on there. Like there's a good amount of games that are on that catalog.
That's cool. Yeah, I've always been curious about how that works.
Yeah.
I think I've kept seeing like they're gonna continue to try to update that feature, get some more stuff on there. So that'll be nice.
I think they definitely would want to try to compete with Game Pass as much as they can.
Yeah, they're trying.
But yeah, I definitely recommend if you do that, try to look for like the Black Friday deals on those subscriptions because like you can get a better deal for it than regular priced for sure.
Yeah,
but I do think it's if you like playing different games, or you like trying new games and stuff like that, I think it's kind of worth it.
And I think you get like game trials too, don't you?
Yeah, so that's one that I haven't
that's
done
a big one.
Ton of. I know they had a trial for like Black Myth Wukong that I was going to try out. But that's another thing. Like if they have trials available for a game that you're considering buying, but don't want to pull the trigger on, like I think you get a 2-hour trial through that service.
Okay, that's not bad. I'm trying to look up the prices for these tiers.
I think regular price, that one's like $160 or something for the year.
Let's see.
I don't think I paid that much. I think I got it cheaper.
They love to show you the tiers, but not how much they cost. Yeah, I'm signed in to mine, so it's thinking I want to upgrade. So I don't think it's gonna give me. I think it's like, yeah, I think you're right, like 160 somewhere around there for the premium tier. But you get a lot of goodies with it. I'm just not sure how much I would ever use it.
Yeah, it definitely works for me, being that I travel so much, and
yeah, definitely.
Like, even though I have a Switch and a Steam Deck, like a lot of the time, the games that I want to play are usually still on PlayStation. Like, I'll switch it up from time to time and take one of those other handhelds with me, but I do bring my Portal a lot of the time.
I've used my Portal on vacation using the remote play, and it worked pretty well. Every once in a while, I'd have to like reset it without putting my PlayStation into standby mode and just kind of reset the buffering or whatever. And it worked fine.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised. I was able to play it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah,
to some PS6 rumors.
Yeah. So while we're on the topic of PlayStation handhelds, let's talk about the recent rumors about the new PlayStation consoles. So, Justin, I know I sent you the video on kind of a brief recap of what's going on, but basically, there was a YouTuber who seems to have a history of credible information regarding Sony hardware. Their name is Moore's Law is Dead, and they put out a like 20 something minute video a couple weeks ago that I didn't watch the whole thing, but the basics that I can understand is it was about some new like AMD chips that were put out that seemingly have something to do with new Sony consoles. But the interesting thing about that is they were showing that there's supposedly multiple different versions of the PS6. One of them will just be the standard at-home console. So, like, probably slight upgrades from the PS5. There's going to be sort of a PS5 like S model, so similar to like the Xbox Series S, like a little bit cheaper, a little bit lower specs.
Yeah.
And then the third one, which was the most interesting to me and probably to you as well, was a dockable handheld version.
Yeah.
So essentially like a Switch, a PS5 that you can play in handheld natively, but then dock and play on your TV with, I assume, upgraded visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
No word on like release date or whatever. They're thinking maybe 2027, which would be about 7 years after the PS5. So
when I first heard that, I thought, no way, that's too soon. But I realized, it was 2020 that these PS5 came out. So
yeah,
2027 probably is pretty realistic.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like the PS5 has been out that long.
Well, I haven't had it that long.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get it on launch. I don't think I got it until...
Yeah, I think I got mine, like... I did not get it on launch day. I think I maybe got it, like, either right before New Year's or after New Year's 2021. So, still pretty early in there, but... yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been out that long. Like, it doesn't feel like there's been that many games released for it.
True. But there definitely has been.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
There's probably
I mean, at
there's
least
probably a ton that I've played that I'm just not thinking
yeah,
of.
exactly. At least and like re-releases and remasters, like
Yeah,
Last of Us and stuff like that. So
yeah. But
um,
yeah, what are your thoughts on this new console? Would you be excited for like a handheld PlayStation or something kind of like a hybrid, like a Switch?
yeah, I think it's very, very interesting.
Hmm.
Options
Yeah.
is, I mean, gamers love options. They need options. You know, everybody's different. Um, because part of me really loves having that home console experience, but it would be pretty freaking sweet to have my PS5 anywhere I want.
Hmm.
Um, the part that confuses me that I don't want to say I don't find accurate because what the hell do I know? But it would be weird if they had a PS6 home console and also here's this dockable PS6,
Hmm.
a handheld slash dockable PS6. It seems to me like they wouldn't have two separate consoles like that. I don't know. It would I think it would make more sense if like the PS6S were the dockable one,
Hmm.
because essentially that, I mean, that makes it sound like there's three different consoles, right? There's the PS6, PS6S, and then the handheld
Hmm.
console. It wouldn't surprise me. Obviously, the handheld is not going to be as powerful as the home console PS6.
Hmm.
So I think it would make more sense if you had the big home console and then the less powerful version is just the handheld version
Hmm.
that can be docked. I think that makes a little bit more sense rather than three different consoles. But options are good. I worry
Hmm.
about new games. I worry about like Final Fantasy 17 only being available on the home console
Hmm.
and the the S or the dockable version not being powerful enough to play it,
Yeah.
or only being able to play a less polished version.
Hmm.
Or Witcher 4, stuff that is going to come out in the next 3 to 4 years, where if you buy into just one version of that, you might completely block yourself out of being able to play some of those games.
Hmm.
Because unless they're sold as a bundle or something wacky like that, you don't want to block yourself out of potentially new games.
Yeah. So my thinking on it, first of all, just I'm gonna clarify uh, what was said in the video. So they are thinking three different consoles, and they do have price estimates for them. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
thinking the PS6S, the lower level one, being somewhere between 300 and 400. I
Respectable.
would like I would guess closer to three. Um, but with the way that pricing is today and tariffs and stuff, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The handheld thinking between 400 and 500, and then the actual PS6 being somewhere between 550 and 700.
Well,
Now,
sorry.
my
Keep going.
thinking on this is I don't like, I know that they're always going to try and do something more powerful than the previous console. And they're with, the cost of making these consoles only going up. That one is going to be less for the standard gamer and more for the enthusiast. Like,
Yeah.
not just anybody can go out and buy the PS5 Pro for $700. It's only going to
Hmm.
be for people who really are invested in the PlayStation ecosystem and want the higher quality, however much that can do. But in my mind, I think it would be smarter to not try and focus on like marginal upgrades for this next console and focus more on like the like what people seem to want more, which would be the handheld dockable. Because like if you look at the jump from like PS2 to PS3, that was a massive jump in terms of power, in terms of resolution, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then from PS3 to PS4, it got a little bit smaller. PS4 to PS5 got even smaller.
Yeah.
And now the PS5 to the PS5 Pro, it still doesn't even feel like that much, and it's $200 more. Like,
Yeah.
the PS5 Pro, the brand new $700 one, still cannot run native 4K. It's like,
Really?
yeah, it's still upscaling. Like, that's what
That's strange.
yeah, I didn't know that either until...
Doesn't a base PS5 do that?
No. No console yet, as far as I know, runs native 4K.
Okay,
They're all doing upscaling.
Okay, so a base PS5 upscales, and a PS5 Pro still upscales, just upscales a little less.
Yeah, like there's the PS5 Pro has the PSSR, like the super resolution or whatever new technology they made for it. It's just a higher level upscaler.
Yeah, okay. I think the main selling point of the PS5 Pro was you didn't have to choose between performance and fidelity, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to choose between graphics and frame rate. So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe PS6 is gonna do full 4K, because I mean, what
Maybe.
to do full? Yeah, right. To do full 4K on a PC, you need like a $1,500 graphics card, right?
Yeah.
You need like the new boy, like a 40 something. But even as games get better and better, even your 40 series graphics card's probably going to be able to push 4K as reliably.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that either.
So that leads me to believe, like, you know, if they're still trying to hit that mark of like, we want our games to run natively in 4K, it's going to be very expensive to do so. That's like, they've been, as far as I know, they at least started out taking a loss on the PS5. I think maybe now they're profiting off of it. But for them to do all of that, still not be natively in 4K, but they're still selling consoles. I think that Sony needs to kind of take a step back and look at, like, do people really care about like these slight upgrades that they get? Or is it more about like the convenience of how you play it? Because in my mind, I don't really care about like the performance upgrades from PS5 to PS6. Honestly, I probably could have kept playing my games on PS4 and still enjoyed them just as much. Like, I definitely appreciate the PS5 and the upgrades that it's had with, you know, faster load times. I love the controller for it. But from like a performance perspective, I haven't really cared that much. I would more be interested in being able to play my games natively from the console anywhere. And I don't think that I'm alone in that. Like, I think with the shift to more handheld consoles and handheld PCs, like the Steam Deck, the ROG, all of them, I think a lot of people now are thinking more about like, do I want to have like this marginal upgrade to performance, or do I want to be able to play all of my games wherever I want to be?
Definitely. I mean, that's where I'm at
Yeah.
too. I feel like it makes more sense to maybe like stagger these releases
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like it would be a tough sell for here's our new PS6 lineup or our new console lineup. There's three of them. Good luck getting your grandma to figure out
Get
which
the right
one you
one.
want. Yeah, which one you want for Christmas. I feel like maybe with the Portal, it hasn't been out very long, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it might have been a quote unquote cheap way for Sony to kind of get an idea of that market,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it surprised them how well it sold.
Yeah.
I don't know numbers or anything, but I think I read somewhere that it surprised them how well it did.
Mm-hmm.
So they know the handheld market's there. So I think it makes more sense in a year or two or whatever. Say, here is a new PS5,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically functions as a Switch. It'll play your PS5 games, it'll play your PS4 games, this and that. And then in another year or two, here's our PS6 lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes more sense because the handheld obviously isn't going to be able to play the same things that the other ones are,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, am I crazy kind of thinking that?
I mean, no, but I feel like they're also making such improvements to the handheld world where like now I think a lot of them, with the upgrades they're making to these chips and everything, I think there is a world where they could play most new things that are coming out. Maybe not at the same resolution as a home console, but like the uh the Switch 2, as for all of Nintendo's faults, they've now been able to make it so that you can play in 1080p 60 on handheld and then jump it to 4K or upscaled 4K or whatever the hell it actually is
Mm-hmm.
on the same console just docked. Like, and I don't think, and in handheld, the screen is so much smaller. You don't need 4K on that thing. You just don't.
No.
Like, if it can play relatively smooth in 1080 on your handheld, I don't see why that wouldn't be like enough for new games. Like, unless it's something that is really pushing the limits, like they spend 10 years on it and it's like the most realistic graphics you've ever seen. Like, I don't think that the downgrade between the handheld and the new system would be that much.
I would hope so. I mean, I don't know. I just think about, like I said earlier, Witcher 4. Like, is that going to be on PS6? Is it going to be too crazy to put on a handheld device?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Um, whatever screen is on the Portal and whatever resolution everything runs at on the Portal
Mm-hmm.
is perfect. Do that
Yeah.
because that is gorgeous.
Yeah. Which
I don't know what I think is that an OLED screen?
it is not an OLED.
Really?
Yeah. As far as I know, it's a 1080. It's a an LCD screen, so
Okay.
kind of an older technology. But I believe it's 1080, and I want to say runs at 60 FPS.
Sounds right.
And
I mean,
I think it
I
looks
love
great.
I
Like,
love the quality, the picture quality on
yeah,
the
I
Portal.
do.
It's awesome.
I will say that I do like an OLED screen. Like I have the Switch OLED, and
Mhm.
I will say like it does look like it looks cleaner, I guess you could say. a little bit more polished. But overall, like, you can still kind of imitate that with a lower level screen that you don't have to pay as much for. It's also not as fragile because OLED screens are a lot more susceptible to burn-in and things like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
But like the Portal not having an OLED and still looking as good as it is, I think is pretty impressive on its own.
Yeah, that's a nice screen. I've don't have a Switch OLED. I don't know if I've ever seen an OLED screen before. So it'd be cool to see like the difference, like running the same game on each, just kind of see how different they look.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No. So I think if I were to like, what I could see happening with this, I think you're kind of onto something with the, like, maybe stagger the releases of this.
Yeah.
I think that the PS6 handheld should be the base PS6, in my opinion. I think that's the one they release first, like 2027, 2028. Like, that be the baseline for the new generation. Maybe along with it, they release the 6S. So it's a little bit cheaper of an option, but it's not handheld. And they probably don't sell as many of those, but it's for someone who is okay with a little bit less performance, but just wants to get into the new generation. Because I think that the Series S for Xbox has actually been pretty successful for them.
Okay.
Like, I think that actually sold pretty well. So if they're going to release any together, I'd say release those two together at launch, and then a year down the road, release the base, like the home console, as like the 6 Pro or something.
That could be I could see that happening too.
Yeah, because by then, more games will have come out for the 6, and like there may be more sort of enthusiasts that are wanting to upgrade their, like, the at-home portion of it. So you might get 2 consoles, or you might get someone to buy 2 consoles instead of just one from the new generation. But they're not having to choose right away, like, which one they want to go with, better performance or the handheld. So I think that's what makes sense to me for them to do. But, if everything that Sony did made sense to me, then the Portal would have been would have been able to play natively to begin with. So, and
important to note, these are just rumors.
Yeah. So
none of this could be true,
Yeah. With the amount of publications that are talking about just this one video, it does lead me to believe that at least some of this is mostly reliable. Like, and it would make sense to me Sony, I think, has talked about being in the early stages of making a handheld.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me with the success of handhelds recently and how many, with Xbox coming out with their own, obviously the Switch is one of the most successful consoles ever. Like, I think they should be looking at making a handheld either way. But for some reason, it didn't occur to me that the new console, rather than just being an upgrade from the PS5, could be like a hybrid console that can run a PS5 and PS4 games, and maybe even PS6, depending on, like, how crazy the games get.
Yeah. It's all interesting. We'll do what we always do and just wait and see.
Yeah.
Whenever whenever I think of like rumors, I think of how many rumors there were for the Switch Pro. You know, it's just for years and years and years. It's coming. It's coming next year. Get ready for an announcement. It's coming next, and it never came.
Yeah, and every
all the
year,
yep, all the credible people like Jason Schreier was saying, "I've got good word. It's coming. It's going to be announced." Like Nintendo probably has a department that is like feed them leaks. Just give them whatever.
Just push something out. Get the hype going
make shit up.
Bit.
Yeah, make shit up. It doesn't matter. I mean, I would 100% believe that these big companies have that. Like a person that just does that. Like,
Oh, I could definitely see it. Like,
I don't know. It's fun to speculate though. So
yeah,
we love it. You and me we're Sony ponies, so we like hearing our new PlayStation stuff.
Yeah, I will definitely go out on record. I feel like this is known probably already, but if Sony comes out with any handheld that can play PS4 and PS5 natively, and it's a dockable, that's a day one for me. It has
as
to
much
be.
traveling as you do. Yeah,
that's a day
perfect
one
for you.
And I can't I've already justified
hear him, Sony?
it in my head.
You hear him, day one.
Make it happen. I will do it.
Jake will give you any amount of money.
Yeah. But
not any, but a large sum of money.
Yeah, so another wait and see, as it always is, but
as it always is.
One that I am remaining cautiously optimistic about.
Good.
Yeah.
Me too. It should be fun. I too am very much looking forward to a handheld.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to move. Let's move on. I want to talk about Monster Hunter yet again. I know last episode I already talked about it, but I got my GameIndustry.biz daily newsletter, which if you're not signed up for that, you should. They focus on the biz part of the video game industry quite a bit.
Hence the name.
Hence the name biz. Dot biz.
Yep.
Which can be interesting. I don't read every article they post, but one headline snagged my attention, and it was done, as I found out, very much on purpose. But it's let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Yeah, whatever. Basically saying Capcom is disappointed in Monster Hunter Wilds sales. And famously, I know that it's up over 10 million units sold. So that caught my eye, and it made me mad because a lot of games I'm sure would kill to sell 10 million copies. After doing some further research last night, they're disappointed in recent sales, like post-launch sales. So the headline did its job. It triggered me. I'm not perfect, okay? But I did my research and I looked into it. So Monster Hunter Wilds sold like 10 million copies in like a month or something like that. Capcom's fastest selling game ever. It's not their best selling game. I think it's like their 15th best selling game, but it's still pretty damn good. But it did make me upset that somebody from that company would go on record saying things are disappointed. But I think it was from a sales call, or like not a sales call. What are they called, Jake? Like
I think I have the article up right here. Let me.
Like an investors meeting or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Some rich person thing like that. Wait, I had the IGN article up here too. But so they're disappointed in sales since launch, which is odd to me because sales since launch really doesn't. There's no. How do I want to word this? You sold 10 million copies. Jake, do you have a calculator?
I can pull one up, yeah.
Go ahead and pull that up for me.
Okay.
Now take 10 million.
Okay.
Times 70.
Well, that's a cool $700 million.
700? You really didn't need a calculator for that.
No.
$700 million. That is almost $1 billion. Now, I know Capcom doesn't get 100% of that, but I'm sure they get a lot of it.
Yeah.
You probably made, I don't know, probably $500 million in a month. And there's no subscription fees, so I mean, obviously they want to keep selling the game to make more money, but I think 10 million units sold is pretty damn good. I think a lot of games would be very happy to sell that. I looked up kind of some comparable fan favorites. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, 3 million units sold.
And they were probably stoked about that, dude. Like,
yeah. Persona 5 Royal, a JRPG like fan favorite, like one of the best JRPGs considered, 8 million copies sold. So, I mean, for Capcom to complain about it, I get it. They want more people playing. They want more people to buy the cosmetics. I don't know. But to say that and then also blame the price of the PS5 upset me, because the PS5 has like 60 million units out there.
Yeah.
But I guess he was being more specific to Japan, which maybe the PS5 market in Japan isn't very large because everyone has a Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think, and I know Nintendo is much larger in Japan than anything else. So the PS5 price point being a barrier of entry for people, the $70 price tag being a barrier of entry for people. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I think you cashed in on a hell of a lot of hype because Monster Hunter World was really good and Monster Hunter Rise was really good. And you cashed in on a hell of a lot of hype in the first month, and word of mouth is huge in the video game space. People caught on very quick, especially on PC, that this game was lacking.
Yeah.
It has a mostly negative review score on Steam right now because it's so poorly optimized and just doesn't run well. So people see that and they're not going to buy it. People are getting better about not buying broken games. I mean, 10 million people already did, but I think that's the freaks that love Monster Hunter like myself that buy it. You know, it's not you're not getting the word of mouth to continue that and to continue those sales. And I think it said in that sales call that Monster Hunter Rise and World are outselling Monster Hunter Wilds in the months since.
Yeah.
And they kind of shot themselves in the foot because they made such good games in the past that are complete and well optimized and run, they run well. They have full content. All their content is completely available. People are just going back to play Monster Hunter World or checking out Rise.
Yeah.
Which is great for, them. But it's Capcom hurt their own sales by making such good games in the past that are just comparable to Monster Hunter Wilds now.
Yeah. I don't remember if we've talked about this. Did you play Rise and World when they first came out? Or did you come to both of those later?
I came to World much later.
Mm-hmm.
And I played Rise on launch, but I didn't put a significant amount of time into it.
Okay. So I'm wondering uh if there was a trend at all between like it coming out and it not running well on a certain console, or if it or like on PC.
Well, Monster Hunter Wilds is the first Monster Hunter to release on PC at launch.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World didn't come to PC till much later, and neither did Rise.
Mm-hmm.
So they had more time to optimize it for PC. And Capcom, I mean, video game companies in general are realizing PC is becoming a much bigger market.
Mm-hmm.
And you have these companies that have never made PC games before, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least pretty new at it. So I think that's what we're running into is they don't know how to optimize, but they're
Mm-hmm.
not as good as optimizing a game for PC.
Yeah.
Um,
See,
it's
and
go ahead.
go no. Um, I think that the issue, not to like try and defend the mega corporations here,
Yeah,
but I think that in general, the massive jump to PC gaming is an issue for developers because it's not a one size fits all situation.
exactly.
Like
It's
everybody's PC is completely unique to the last. Like
difficult.
you don't like in order to optimize for that, you have to basically optimize for an infinite amount of different specs that each person has.
Yeah,
So I can sort of understand like how that can be frustrating and how PC ports usually are not as good at launch. I think like it almost does make more sense for developers to put the game out on console first, see what works, what doesn't work, and then kind of take that knowledge into how we can release this on PC and it not be broken for the first
yeah.
6 months or whatever.
And I bet they really wish they did that
Yeah.
because I think this word of mouth is hurting them. They're seeing their favorite streamers probably barely be able to play it.
Mm-hmm.
They're reading the Steam reviews. Um, it runs fine on PS5. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I've had zero issues. Um, let's see. There was another point I wanted to bring up, and it seems I've forgotten it. People are blaming, as well as poor performance, is a poor like post-release launch schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where I'm going. I'm going. I remember my point I'm getting to.
Okay.
Again, I didn't play World on launch. I played Rise on launch, but I didn't play it enough to like come back for the post game content.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to compare it to, but it's like, man, they're releasing something like every month. There's been 2 festivals that have had pretty fun um, uh, themes to them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not trying to defend Megacorp Capcom, but I think they're trying, and the biggest part of it is I think they paid too much attention to these focus groups or whatever they tried to do
Mm-hmm.
that said the game is too hard, and they really tried to optimize it for those people. There's a thing in Monster Hunter called hit stop, where when you swing your weapon and it hits the monster, it has like a little pause to it, like it slows down for a fraction of a second. It makes your weapon feel like it has weight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a satisfying feeling. In the beta before the game came out, there was no hit stop. it just, your weapon just stayed the same speed the whole time, and it. I'll admit I didn't notice it,
Mm-hmm.
but other people noticed it, and the developers came out and said this is something that was recommended from like our Western audience, like like America didn't want hit stop,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone in the community was like, who asked for that? I don't think anybody wants that gone,
Mm-hmm.
because people noticed, and now that I know it's there, because I don't think I ever really noticed it was there
Mm-hmm.
to begin with, but now that I do, I'm like, yeah, this is perfect, and if it wasn't here, I wouldn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it seems like they had a few focus groups, and they're like, it's too hard. We don't like this. We don't like that. So they just kind of like completely changed the core of this um, genre, like this monster hunting genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what people are upset about. Maybe not necessarily that the post game isn't as good as they want it to be, but that the game is so easy, it doesn't feel like there's much to it doesn't take much to accomplish everything you want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Monster Hunter World took would have taken a long time to get everything. Monster Hunter Wilds, 250 300 hours in, I've done everything. I
Mm-hmm.
have almost everything that I want.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of grinding that I can do, but it's there's really nothing else to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is going to change the way Capcom makes the next Monster Hunter game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're definitely gonna release something on Switch to get that Japanese audience roped
Mm-hmm.
back in.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be really freaking hard.
Yeah.
I think they're going to say, okay, sickos, here you go. Good luck. And I'll eat it up. People will like it.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. It's deeper than the headline said it was,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. Maybe you should just shut up, fix your game, make it work, and don't say 10 million sales is disappointing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sold, but I bet they'd be real happy if they sold 10 million copies.
All right. Well, next topic is one that I wanted to get into, which is the new skate game that is set to release in early access in a little over a week, September 16th.
Oh, okay. Soon.
So, as you know, people will know from me rambling about Tony Hawk for a while at the beginning of the episode, I have always been a big fan of skateboarding games, been a fan of skateboarding in general, even though I was never good at it. And Skate, when compared to Tony Hawk, at least during the old days, was always the more realistic, and I'm going to do realistic in quotations because it still was, outlandish, the things that you could do, but it was more realistic than the Tony Hawk games. It was a little bit like, in terms of the environment, it was a little bit grungier. In the first two games, like there was a story aspect in all three Skate games, but in the first two, like, skaters were it was like more of the rebellious part of skate culture, where there was like security guards or police that would like chase you at certain times. Like, it kind of stuck to that rebellious side of skating, which I think a lot of people enjoyed about it. It really had an emphasis on a more realistic look at street skating, where in Tony Hawk everything was very cartoony. The gameplay itself was like real, like an arcade style skater. But Skate was like refreshing in that it was the mechanics were a bit more realistic and like the world was slightly more realistic in like how skateboarding actually is. But I go to all that to say that a new skate game is coming out. It's not Skate 4. It's just called Skate, which I love when games do that. But the major differences between this one is that it's free to play. It is online only.
Yeah.
The environment and particularly the character models do not look like a skate game. They look like Fortnite or like Disney Dreamlight Valley. Like it is
okay.
Like, the entire feel of the old skate games is gone. And like I made a TikTok about this and a lot of people were mad at me because I said the whole realistic thing, and it's not like the old skate games are not realistic at all in comparison to like simulation games that are out now. Like Sessions is one of them that's like actually you can only do things that normal people can do on a skateboard in those. But those games didn't exist then, so this is what we had that was more realistic. But none of that is really the issue for me with this new skate game. It sounds like the gameplay itself is pretty unchanged. So the big pull with skate games is that rather than doing tricks with buttons, you do everything with the sticks. They call it the flick it mechanics, and like it's not great.
I don't like that at all.
But the way that you flick the stick, like you do it in certain directions, that's the type of trick that you can do. It sounds like they've carried over that mechanic really well. It's a new engine for this one, so they basically rebuilt those mechanics for this one. And that all seems like it works great. Like there's a ton of people who have already gotten early access or were like play testers for this new one. So there's a lot of people that are playing it now that say that the mechanics feel great. It's probably the best that the tricks have felt in a skate game. It's still a little bit janky, but like it plays pretty smooth. They also added a parkour aspect of it, so like you could always get off your board in those games, but now you can like climb stuff, and like I want to do that so I can like jump off of buildings and just do stupid shit. But like that's an aspect that I think most people will enjoy. But the main issue and the whole reason that I wanted to talk about this is the fact that it's free to play and that it's online only.
Yeah.
I understand that there may be a market for that. But I don't think that it's a market that's gonna last like as long as they're hoping it will. From my experience with free to play, like unless it's a game like Fortnite or like Apex or something like something that, you know, has like a lasting impact, I don't think Skate is going to be a online game that sticks around for that long. Like just honestly, like skateboarding, as popular as it still is in some circles, it's still pretty niche compared to like a shooter or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
And I think that it could be popular at first. And they have like a roadmap of like things they want to add to it with like new tricks and more areas that are open. I think there's like certain areas of the current map that will change like regularly. Which that part's all cool. But as of right now, there is no plan to add an offline mode. And when this game dips in player count, as all free to play games do, are they gonna care enough to like give it an offline mode, or are they just gonna cut the servers, save that money, and then everyone who wants to still play that game is just screwed? Like,
And any amount of money you put into that game is
like,
gone.
because as with any free to play online game, there are microtransactions, there's cosmetics that you can buy, and like that's the main like thing that people are gonna go for. Depending on how much money you spend on that, is that all just gone? Like,
yeah.
If they stop like
I mean,
making if the player count dips, they're not making as much money as they want on it, like eventually the well is just going to run dry. Like they're not going to be able to keep like updating and supporting this game that not enough people are playing for it to be worth it. So, and it's EA we're talking about. Like in my TikTok I made about this, I had a screenshot that said EA has canceled over 60 different titles, or like shut down servers for 60 different games in the last 2 years.
Yikes. And did any of them get an offline mode?
Probably not. Like,
besides like Animal Crossing Pocket Camp or whatever that's called, I don't think I've ever heard of a game just getting like an offline mode.
And like
I can't think of any.
And there's games like the racing game The Crew, that it was a Ubisoft game. It came out like early PS4 days. It still had a pretty active player base. And that was a physical game. Like that wasn't a free to play game. That's a game that you paid $60 for at launch. That they had, pretty regular updates for, that they were doing events for, and then they shut down the servers. But it's an online only game. So that even if you have the physical version, that disc that you're holding in your hand is a paperweight now. It's garbage. Because you can't play it at all offline.
It's insane. And I know there's been lawsuits brought because of that. And I can't see how they're going to get away with it. No. I just can't. You paid for a product and it's unusable. It seems like either issue refunds or keep it at least playable. I don't know.
And that's I'm sure you heard about this, but the Stop Killing Games initiative.
That's
the entire focus of that campaign was when you take a game offline, like when you take away the servers for it, at least make it so one, players can run their own servers. You make it like a crowd supported game, or give it an offline mode. Like find a way to sunset the game so that people who have put all of this time and money into it can still use the things that they paid for, or let the fans keep it going on their own. Like, I don't know how that works. I'm not a developer. I've never run my own server or anything, but like there are people who are committed enough to these titles that will keep it going. And or like a game like Skate, where it's basically just an open world. Like they have challenges across, like around the map and stuff like that you can do. But at its core, it's an open world for you to skate in. It's a sandbox. Like, I don't see how there's not a way to make that, like, if you're gonna shut off the servers where it's not online anymore, it doesn't sound like it would be that hard to just make it an offline mode where people who already have that game on their system, they have that map like in their in their hardware, like just let them play it offline. Like you just not going to add any more cosmetics or any more like upgrades to the map when you're done with it. And I think people would be fine with that.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it would give me more hope if this wasn't a free to play. Like if you paid $50 for it, like maybe there's a chance that they do that. Like, I mean, Ubisoft didn't, but the fact that it's free to play, I mean, if you read the end user license agreement at the very beginning of the game, it probably says somewhere in there, we can shut down, we can terminate the game at any time, and everything you purchased will be for naught, and you have to agree to it if you want to play it. So, I mean, that's maybe how they're getting away with all this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
or I think even like down the road, if because it's free to play, like if they're going to shut it down, but they want to still make some money off of it, I think there has been games in the past that went back and like put out a paid version, or like I think even like Fortnite put out a physical version of the game, and like
really,
obviously that's a game that is not going to die anytime in the near future. So they're still going to make their money off of it. But like, I can see a world where if Skate, like the player base is dying off, but like, and they can't afford to keep the servers going, I could see a world where they could say, okay, we're shutting down the servers. If you want to still play this game, pay us $20 or whatever, and you now have it offline and it's yours. Like, I
mean, the prime example of that in my mind is the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. It was a free-to-play mobile game for years, and then they realized they can't support it anymore, so they sold it for like $15, and you just have everything.
Like, so, just do that. And like, you know, I know that this is all speculation on my part. There's like, as of right now, they say they plan to support this game for however many years to come. But I also know the track record for these type of games, and I think it's valid to be worried about what they're planning to do with it. Like, as much as I want to believe that it's a game that's going to be super popular and people are going to continue to play it for years to come, and they're going to keep putting out new like areas and new challenges and all that stuff, I just don't think it's the type of series that they can confidently do that for. And
I agree.
Like, it's a niche enough series that there are definitely going to be people who want to play it for years to come, but it's not going to be enough for a company like EA to like keep supporting it just for that small group of people. It's just not realistic.
Yeah, especially when Tony Hawk is coming out with brand new games, essentially, in the same year. Like, if this sucks, people are just
they're just gonna
go
play
right
Tony
back
Hawk,
to
because that's
Tony
a
Hawk
game that they own. Like,
and they have it. No, own, but whatever.
It's a game that they have the license to, and they can play offline currently.
We need to be more pedantic about our.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we can get into a debate about like what we actually own and all day long, but the point is, if this was a game that you were purchasing a license to play, I think there would be a lot more things they would have to do to make that game not playable anymore. And if there was at least an offline mode, then they could charge you for that. And then when they shut down the servers, they wouldn't have to rip the game away from you and piss off this entire group of fans. They could just say, we don't want to invest in this anymore. enjoy what we gave you. Like,
yeah, yeah. Here's everything unlocked.
Then, like, I don't know. I want to believe that there's enough of a fan base that this game can survive for some amount of time. I just don't really believe so. And the fact that they changed the aesthetic of the game as much as they have, and they're taking, like, they haven't said anything about game modes that people really enjoyed, like the like the story aspect of it, the like being able to play skate, like the like playing a game of skate against another person, like trying to do the same tricks. That's not part of it currently. The
It'll probably get added.
They can probably add that later, but like
they'll just drip feed content.
Yeah,
keep people coming back.
But like the fact that it doesn't look like the old games, it doesn't feel like the old games, it doesn't have all the game modes of the old games. It's going to be harder for them to bring all of the old fans back when they can just go back and play the old games that, you know, they wanted a new version of. And it's not the type of game that's going to pull in an entirely new audience like they're hoping. I think it's going to be people who played the old games or people who were invested in skateboarding, which is not the vast majority of people. So,
yeah. It's not a direction you like to see a game you're excited about go to.
Yeah. And I think that the reason that it's so frustrating to me is that they announced that there was going to be a new skate game like 5 years ago. But I don't think it was until pretty recently, like within the last year, that they said, well, it's actually going to be free to play and it's going to be online only. And we have no intentions of an offline mode. That's where I'm like, okay, so this is not Skate 4. This is just
like, this is just Skate.
Yeah. A bastardized version of Skate. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So,
well, I don't know, Jake. I hope it's okay for you. And I hope you have some fun playing it.
I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Don't put a whole lot of money into it.
God, I hope that it's that it's somewhat successful and that it can stick around a while. I'm still annoyed that it's that it's online only, because like there's gonna be times where I want to play it, but maybe I don't have like the best internet, or I just don't want to be in a lobby with a bunch of other people. Like, and I don't know how much interaction there is between players. I don't know if you can like run into each other and knock each other off your board or whatever. Like, it's probably just more of like an open lobby where you can't really like interact much, but I still don't want to have to deal with that all the time.
Yeah, just I want to go in and skate.
Yeah,
man.
Like that's all I want to do.
That's all I want.
Just, put on my own music and just like skate around for a few hours. That's all I'm asking for. But anyway, so that's been my hyperfixation for the last couple days. But
I don't blame you. That would upset me too. That would upset me too.
Skate.
Well, on a bit of a lighter note. Yeah. I'm sorry. Did you?
I was just gonna say it's out on early access on the 16th. So probably by the next time we record, I'll have actual hands-on experience with it.
Sweet. Yeah, I look forward to it, honestly. On a bit of a lighter note, it was announced at a Stardew Valley concert. Yes, concert. Those exist. Eric Barone, a.k.a. Concerned Ape, revealed that Stardew Valley is getting yet another update. Famously, version 1.6 came out, I think, last year. Mm-hmm. That added a bunch of new content, and he said that was going to be it. There's going to be no more. He's going to work on his next game, Haunted Chocolatier.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that wasn't true. Apparently that's not true. He wants a 1.7, and he later confirmed it on Twitter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no mention of what the content is or anything like that, if it's going to be substantial or just a few little things. But I think it's pretty obvious. This man loves this game.
Oh, yeah.
It is his baby. He cannot stop working on it. He just wants to keep adding to it.
I mean,
and I don't blame him.
With,
it's a good game.
Like, you know, with the fan base that it's garnered, like, I think it's probably hard to let go of it. Like, he's put, you know, to create something by, like, I think it was by himself when he first did it. He might,
starting, I think.
But, like, to create something by yourself that so many people resonate with, like, and, you know, have continued to for this many years, like, I can imagine it's probably hard to, like, fully let go of that and start something new. Which I think is why he hasn't, you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you know he's working on a new game?
I mean, it says that,
called
like,
Haunted Chocolatier.
Yeah, like, I'm looking at a Game Rant article. It says, despite previous claims that he'd be devoting his time primarily to Haunted Chocolatier after the release of Update 1.6. I read the wrong part of that sentence, but yeah, like, it sounds like he's still working on it, but he just, like.
Yeah, I think he assured that progress wasn't being sacrificed for Haunted Chocolatier. But he's got a trailer out. The trailer's been out for several years at this point. So I don't know. We waited a long time for Silk Song. We are probably going to be waiting a long time for Haunted Chocolatier. But we're getting new Stardew content in the meantime. That's always fun. I enjoy it.
Do you play Stardew pretty regularly?
No. I have like 150 hours in Stardew total. I haven't played it in a long time though. I haven't played much of the new 1.6. I watched my wife play a lot of Stardew. She plays it all the time. So I watch her play it plenty.
Yeah, that's one. Jetpack plays it far more regularly than I do. I really only play it with her on our shared farm. But I think she actually did mention this to me when it was announced and said that we should talk about it on the podcast. But yeah, I'm sure she's excited for this. I'm excited to see, like, you know, what new things are added. Like, it's not by any means it's not a game I dislike at all. It's just a game I don't play very often, but I'm still happy to see when new things are added to it, because I know it's a game that so many people love and play all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I just looked at the sales. It's 41 million
dude.
sales. But that's the benefit of putting it on everything. Yeah, it's on every console. It's on mobile. So that definitely helps.
And it's such an easy game to run too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, that, I think, is the definition of, like, an absolute home run. But, like, you like, and put out this game by yourself that was, like, I'm sure it was very, you know, very difficult to make, but the style of game that he made is easy to run on any hardware.
Yeah, any PC you got, it'll run it.
It's in depth enough that just playing the game, like, even just playing the base game as it was when it came out, takes hundreds of hours to do everything.
Yeah.
Like, and then continuing to add things to it over time. Like, that's just like, in a way, you've made a game that's kind of immortal. Like, people can go back and play this game forever, and probably will for a long time. But,
yeah, I agree. Who knows when we're gonna get it? Hopefully soon, and then hopefully Haunted Chocolatier not far after that.
yeah.
And I hope Haunted Chocolatier comes to consoles, not just PC.
Did he say
that's just me.
A time frame for 1.7, or just that it exists?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's just that it exists.
Okay.
But I'm not positive on that. He might have. I doubt it.
I would guess within... or when did he announce this? Like a few days ago or something?
It might have been last week or something.
I would be willing to bet before the end of the year that this could come out. Nice. I don't know how much stuff is planned for the update.
Yeah. I can't imagine it's going to be enormous, like 1.6 or 1.5, but I don't know. Maybe.
We'll see.
All right, Jake. I think that might do it for us. What do you think?
Yeah. Once again, topics we didn't think would have that much to cover took 2 hours. So.
Yep, we always do that. Yeah, I hope we have enough to talk about.
We always do.
We always do.
All right. Well, I'll get us out of here.
Get us out of here.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out for another episode of the A to Jump podcast. As always, I am your host, Jake, aka Gooba. I run a YouTube channel called Gooba and Jetpack with my girlfriend. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Justin of Justin Games. And yeah, we'll try and be more regular about recording episodes over the next few months. We're busy guys, so can't record as much as we want, but
no,
I know there'll be some.
I imagine is work slowing down for you now that the summer's over?
Work is only picking up. So,
okay.
But with that said, there are a lot of games coming out in the end of the year that I think we're excited to talk about. So,
yeah.
But until next time, thank you for watching, and as always, keep on gaming.
Keep on gaming.